Hey YouTube, it's Bill here, and today I'm back with the 18th episode for my Barrow Career Mode on FIFA 21. And today we're here with the start of Season 2, which was the episode I was going to stream, but I've decided not to stream it. That's because the people that were saying I should stream it were saying I should stream on YouTube, but if I'm going to stream, I want to stick to Twitch, because I've streamed on Twitch before, and all my stuff's set up to stream on Twitch, and I'm much more familiar with it. I don't really know how streaming on YouTube works, but as I just said, I'm much more familiar with streaming on Twitch, and I've streamed on there before, so I know how that works. So if I am going to stream, I'm going to stream on Twitch. So in the future, I'm going to stream on Twitch, but I'm not going to stream yet. But if you want to follow me on Twitch so you're around when I do stream in the future, the link's in the description, but I'm not going to be streaming for a while, I don't think. But now we have the preseason tournaments here, and the easiest one I have here is a 3-star difficulty, which does worry me a little bit, because if the easiest one I'm getting is 3-star difficulty, that might mean my team is like a 3-star team, and I might have an objective to do well in the league this season, which I'm hoping is not the case, but I'm worried that it could be. But I am going to go for this tournament because it's the easiest one, and it's only a little bit less money than the highest prize money, so I'm going to go for this one. I've got a most chance of making the most money then. Oh, you're joking me. Oh my God. Having a good team last season has screwed me a bit because now I've got to fight for promotion this season and I'm going to have a very weak team which might not even keep me up. Okay, I've got to finish the season with a profit margin of 9 million, which I feel like is something I can actually do because I'm going to sell all my players. So I feel like I can actually achieve this one and it's high priority, so that might help. The youth development objectives shouldn't be too much of an issue because it's a youth career mode. I'm focusing on that anyway. And the brand exposure also shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's expecting me to fight promotion, but it only wants me to get 7 wins in the league. That's weird. And something which I've just remembered is there's going to be some new rules in Season 2, which are going to apply to Season 2 now, which didn't apply to Season 1. So I'll put them on screen now. Right, I've got the full list of rules here, which are relevant up to this point, but I've highlighted the ones which are now relevant in Season 2. These are that I must have a full youth academy or a regen first team by the start of the second season, so that's by the first game. At least one academy player signed in the previous season must make a minimum of 5 appearances during the current season, which won't be an issue because I've got like Freeze and Hargest and stuff which are already playing anyway. And then the new rules, which I didn't go over last season, were the free agent and the scouting rules for this season. So in League 1, I can't sign free agents that are over 70 rated. They can only replace players below 65 rated, and I can only sign one free agent over the rating of 68. And the scouts in this season, I can hire 2-star judgment scouts, so that means they can have any level of experience, they've just got to have 2-star judgment. And in the second season or beyond in League 1, I can sign 3-star judgment scouts. And something you would have seen there is that I can now have 2-star scouts in League 1, so that is what I'm going to do first. I'm going to get some 2-star scouts. 4-star, 2-star. That is perfect. That is exactly what I want because that gets me more players and it's 2-star judgment, which is the max I'm allowed, but I'm allowed anything on experience. So that's perfect. But we don't get any more 4-star, 2-star scouts, so I'm going to wait a little bit and see if we get some maybe 3 or 4-star, 2-star scouts, which are better than just 2-star, 2-star. So I'm going to wait a little bit and then come back in a bit and see if there's any better ones to hire. Right, and then the next thing to do is check the free agents, see if there's any good regens in there that I can sign and improve the team. Right now I'm scouting a load of players here who I think might be alright, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and shortlist the ones who I know will be good enough to go straight into my first team if I sign them. Right now I've got a list of players here who I know will be good enough to come into the first team straight away, but the ones I'm going to sign first are the ones who play in positions which I need the most. So I'm going to sign a goalkeeper, probably this guy. I'm going to sign this right back, even though his stats aren't anything special. He'll definitely be better than the right back I've already got. I'm going to sign this left back for much the same reason, although his stats are better. I've just noticed this left back is 6'6" as well, so he might end up being a centre back at some point, but for now he'll do as a left back. Then I'm going to sign this CDM because his physicals look very good and his defensive stats are already pretty decent, so he'll be my best CDM coming in, I reckon. And they're the only 4 I'm going to sign to start off with, which leaves me only 1 spot to sign another free agent. But these are the players which I really need because they're my weakest positions. So we might as well start off with this keeper here. Going to approach to sign him. And I don't really know how much I'm going to offer. He's going to be rated in between 60 and 70. So I'm going to start maybe at like a K. I'm going to try. And also, who is that guy? That is not me. He must be an important squad role. Look, this guy. Who is this guy? That is not me. It's just picked some random manager. Let's go with 4 years. 4-year contract. He's happy with that. No release clause, that's fine by me. I hope okay, he's put money on the table. He only wants 350 quid a week, so that is a lot less than I would have offered, to be honest. So let's accept that and let's go see what rating he is. Okay, he's a 64, which is pretty decent. Right now, the next player I'm going to sign here is this right back. His stats aren't great, but I reckon he's maybe going to be like low 60s rated, and he'll definitely be better than Bosniak, so let's get him signed. Right, we're going to offer important first team player because he'll definitely be the best right back of the club, and he has accepted that. 4-year contract, try and go for the same as I did for the keeper. That's fine with them. No release clause, and I think I'm going with a K like I was going to do before. That's 100k, I don't want to do that. And that's also £100, I don't want to do that either. 1k, right. Let's hope they accept this. Right, okay, he wants 1.2k, which is slightly above what I offered, but I don't know what rating he is, so I'm just going to have to assume that's reasonable. So let's go take a look at him. And with that, signing them 2 players, I've completed that objective. Right, he is a 64 rated, bit higher than I expected, so that's good. Right, before I go any further in the transfer window, I just want to show you, this is basically a team I've got at the start of the transfer window. Let's just imagine I didn't sign those 2 players a minute ago. And I have left some players in the youth academy to grow a bit more before the start of the season, before I sign them up. So in goal at the moment, it's still Dixon, but I've got Bosniak and Rivas at fullbacks. My CDM positions are very weak. And then I've still got a Cam in the youth academy, so Gribbin's playing. And then by the end of the window, you'll be able to see how much stronger my team is. Because already, if I bring in Daoudi, I'm going to have to figure out how to pronounce that, and Barbaris. That's probably not how you pronounce that either. But if I bring both of them in, you can see it already strengthens the team a lot. So hopefully I can continue with that signing these free agents. Right, the third player I'm going to sign here is this 6'6" left back, which is pretty ridiculous, but he's actually fairly quick. So if I can get him any quicker, he'll be an absolute monster. Because I remember I had a really quick, really tall right back once in a career mode in FIFA 19, and he was an absolute monster. So he could maybe become the same. Right, I expect this guy to be slightly higher rated than the right back I've already signed, and he wants crucial already, even though I've offered him importance. So he obviously thinks more of himself than the right back did. So I'm probably going to jump him with 1.5k when I offer the wage, because he'll already want more than the right back did, and he wants 2k anyway, but I guess that's fine. I need a left back, so it's acceptable. Right, let's have a look at him now. 69 rated already. Okay, that is my one free agent signing over 68. I could only sign one over 68, and that's it. I did not expect it to be this high rated, so if I wanted to sign another player over 68 once I actually get my scout reports back, I can't do that now. Look at this guy's stats. Decent defensive stats, but 80 crossing. He will be able to put balls into the box really well for my header to strike in. For my striker to head in if he is a tall striker. I think the one I got in my youth academy is fairly tall, so that could be a good partnership. And 71 sprint speed at 6'6", very decent. Right, the last player I'm going to sign for the minute is this CDM, because my worst CDM is 49 rated. He's my worst player in the starting 11, even before I did the transfer window, so I really need this guy. And neither of my CDMs are very good, but with one good CDM there, that'll at least be alright. So let's approach to sign this guy. I reckon he'll probably be mid-60s, maybe like mid-low 60s. So he wants an important first team player, so he's obviously not as good as the left back was. 4-year contract, that's what he wants. No release clause, I'm assuming. He doesn't want that. And I think I'm going to go in with about 1.5 if they don't say anything. Yep, they haven't said anything. So let's go with 1.5 and see what he says. If he accepts it straight away, I know I've overpaid, but I won't have overpaid by that much. Okay, I've overpaid there, but I can't have overpaid loads. And let's have a look at his rating now. 66 rated, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. And now my team is already looking a lot better. Quite a weak bench, but a lot stronger first team. So all I've got now is to promote my Cam and my striker from the youth academy, which I'm going to do right before the first game of the season so they grow as much as possible. And now I've signed all them players, the next thing to do is sell all my real players. And I've just noticed this keeper that I've signed has shown great potential tag, which is great. So I'll go check the other players and see what their potentials are. The left back I've signed also has shown great potential. That's good. All right, the right back doesn't have a tag. That's all right. He's higher rated than my other right backs. My CDM doesn't have a tag either, but it's still all right. He's higher rated than my other CDMs. Burns is worth 5.5 mil. I was waiting to see how much he was worth, and he is worth quite a lot, so he will make me probably more money than, well, not more money than my other players being sold combined, but he'll make me a good chunk of the money I'm going to make off these players being sold. And I'm still on the first day of the season here, so now, after almost an hour of recording, I'm finally going to advance. Right, now we've got the first game of the preseason tournament here against Bayern Munich 2. So let's hope for a positive start. And I lose 1-0. Right, now we've got the second game of preseason here against Kalmar FF. Well, I'm not going to lie, I've never actually heard of. But let's hope again for a positive result. And hope I actually get one this time. And I've lost again. Right, now we have the third game of preseason here against Odense. And I still do have a chance of going through in this tournament. But I'm going to need a win here against Odense. And it is looking slim that I'm going to get through. I also need Kalmar to beat Bayern Munich too. And I have beaten Odense, so there is a chance I could get through now. I think Bayern Munich beat Kalmar there though. And they did, so I'm not going through in the tournament. Never mind. Right now the preseason tournament's done. All I've got to do is wait for transfer offers to come in for my players and wait for my scout reports to come back on the players I've scouted. Right now I've got the scout reports back on some of my players here, and you can see what there that one has actually already signed for a club. So I'm glad I signed those players earlier before I'd scouted them, because that could have happened to them. But you'll see here there's mostly just players of low 60s, other than this one guy who has signed for the club. And I don't think I could have signed him anyway because he's 68 rated. So he's already signed for a team, let's remove him. But I'm going to shortlist these CDMs here because I do need a better CDM, and I think that's probably the next position I'm going to have to sign a player in. But I'm going to wait till the rest of my scout reports come back to see if I get a better one. Right, I've got some more scout reports back here on some centre-backs, and they all actually look pretty decent, but centre-back is one of the positions where I'm strongest. I don't know why this guy's come up, I didn't actually scout him, I'll get rid of him. But centre-back's one of the positions where I'm strongest, so I don't think I'm actually going to sign any of these players. I've just remembered I've got to sign some more scouts, so I think I'm just going to actually have to grab a 2-star 2-scout here, because I might run out of time otherwise. So we'll grab one 2-star 2-star, and then I'll hold out to try and get a better one than that. And there's not a better one that's come up here. Right, now I've got some scout reports here from some regens of players who retired last season who I know were showing great potential because I searched for them and deliberately scouted these. And some of these players look alright, so these are players that I'm going to look maybe at signing at some point. But at the moment, probably not, because my team's alright at the minute. I'll probably just wait till January or something before I sign anyone. Right, we are getting close to the first game of the season now, so I am going to sign up this cam here, Sergio Vaquero, or Vaquero, however you say his name, and I'm going to sign up Lewis McKinnon, because he will be my starting striker, and I just want to sign these up to get them in a couple of training sessions, so that their sharpness will go up and they'll be better for the first game of the season. And now I've got my final lot of scout reports here. One player has signed for a team, so I'm going to get rid of him. And this CDM, I think, might be better than the other two, so I'm glad I waited for him. And the rest of the players are alright, but I really need a CDM, and he's my last free agent that I can sign, so I think I'm going to sign a CDM now. Right, it's the 28th of the month now, and I like to send my scouts out on the 28th, and I've still got to buy another one here, so let's hope there's a 2-star scout somewhere. And there's actually no 2-star scouts. So I think what I'm going to do for this first 3 months of scouting, I'm just going to have to buy a 1-star scout and use him to do my scouting, which is really annoying. But at the end of this first 3 months of scouting, I'm going to have to sack him and try and get another 2-star judgment scout. But we've got 3 scouts here now, and I've got 3 countries which I'm going to scout, which I've been asked to scout by people in the comments. And the first one of them is Colombia. I'm going to send my best scout to Colombia because I feel like that's got the best chance of returning some good players. And it's a South American country, so of course I'm going to search for technically gifted players. It's like the South American trademark. The next place I'm going to scout is somewhere in Asia. I think the comment said somewhere like Japan or Korea or something. So I'm going to go for Japan, and I'm going to search for wingers because I think Asian countries have a chance of bringing back faster players. Even though they don't have a very good chance of bringing back very good players, they're probably faster. So go for wingers and hoping to get some really quick wingers here. And then I got asked to scout Algeria, so I'm going to send my worst scout to Algeria. So if you asked for me to scout Algeria, I'm sorry about that, you're probably not going to get any good players. But in Algeria, I don't really know what to search for, so I think I'm just going to search for any. Right, now I'm going to sign a CDM, and out of all these players, I think I'm going to go for this guy, because not only is he the highest rated, he's got the best work rates, I think. He's got a high attacking work rate, which you don't want on a CDM, and he's only 5'6", so I've pretty much ruled him out already. So I'm actually going to remove him. Then it's between these two, and height and work rates are alright for these two. And this guy's actually better physically. Look at his physicals there, they're actually quite decent. His are decent as well, but I think this guy's physicals are just a bit better. But this guy's defensive stats are just a lot better than this guy's. And he's a CDM, that's really his job, is to defend from the midfield. So I think I'm going to go for Costas Cordal here. And if I can't sign him, I'll sign Comas, because I'm sure Comas will be an adequate player. And he'll be wanting 1.2 to 1.7k a week, which I'm sure I can manage. Wants an important squad role, that's fine by me. 5 years in his contract, that's longer than the other players, but still not an issue, I don't think. No release clause, not an issue. And then coming to the money, I do know around how much to offer this time, so I'm just going to go straight in with 1.2 and see if they accept that. And they're happy with that, so maybe I might slightly overpaid, but I've got 2 decent CDMs now. Right, that is the end of this video. It is the end of the Season 2 preparations, as we have now reached the first game of the season against a team who got promoted with us, Salford City. And after that, the team is looking a lot stronger than it was. I've signed a right back, a left back, a goalkeeper, and 2 CDMs. Still a bit weak at cam and at striker, but they were my strongest weak positions, if that makes sense. So I've strengthened the right backs, the CDMs, and the goalkeeper. Gone for like a full defensive strengthening, really. because that's where I was really weak. And if I can now improve on the cam and the striker maybe in January, because I can't do that now because I've signed all the free agents and any regens at clubs will have recently joined, so I won't be able to sign them. But if I can strengthen the cam and the striker after that, I should be good for maybe pushing for promotion like they want me to. But anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, leave a like. If you want to carry on watching this series, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.